Hi everyone, welcome back to the Movie Reviewers 100. My name is Scott, also known as Senram. I do the Thursday reviews here on this collaboration channel. This week our theme is Colin Ferrel week, which is a little bit coincidental because today is April 4th, my birthday. And typically I go see a film on my birthday because I like films and I like doing that. It was exactly 10 years ago this year that Phone Booth premiered on April 4th. That, of course, is a Colin Ferrel film, and I went to see it. I consider that sort of Colin Ferrel's signature role, at least amongst the roles where he's playing Americans. Colin Ferrel's Irish, but he does a flawless American accent, and he's played a lot of Americans in major films. One of the first ones he was in was Tigerland, which was directed by Schumacher, who also directed Phone Booth. He actually did a cameo in another Schumacher film called Veronica Guerin, with Cate Blanchett as the main character. He's basically just a football fan with a neck tattoo, hanging out on the street watching the game through the window of a shop. And he has a quick bit of dialogue with Cate Blanchett in that movie. I'm like, that's funny, just to see him in a cameo like that. Oh wait, of course, Schumacher, Colin Ferrel, those guys are tight. So anyway, I want to talk about Minority Report, which is a movie that he made before he really achieved sort of leading man status, where studios were regularly casting him as the main character in the films that we're making. You know, almost always he's the main character in the films that he's doing because, you know, he's a handsome dude and very good actor and has that great American accent down. So Minority Report, he has a supporting role alongside Tom Cruise, of course, and Samantha Morton, and it's directed by Spielberg, and it's adapted from the Philip K. Dick story about cops who use psychics to predict when murders will happen and then arrest the people that are about to commit the murder before they happen. So Colin Ferrel's character is kind of an administrative type. And he is basically there to sort of look at the viability of the program and see, because they're talking about taking it national, you know, to use it throughout the whole country. He is looking for problems in the system, you know, any potential things that could crop up. And one of the things that he talks about is the fact that since you're arresting people before they've committed a crime, that's, you know, that's not really something that you can do, can you? And Tom Cruise goes, well, sure it is, I'll show you. And this was a scene that was actually added by the screenwriter Scott Frank, who also adapted Out of Sight for Steven Spielberg, a fantastic film, of course. Tom Cruise takes a ball and he rolls it along a table until it reaches the end, at which point it falls off and Colin Ferrel catches it. And he says, now you see, if he hadn't been there to catch the ball, it would have fallen. And you know that's true, but you stopped it from happening. And that's what we do here. That's just, it was a nice, simple demonstration of how the system basically works. Predetermination is what he calls it. So, the real reason why I want to talk about this movie is because of one particular scene, which is really, really great, and it's done in one single shot. Once Tom Cruise finds out that he is going to be one of the potential murderers, they get the footage from the psychics showing him killing a guy, and he's got 2.5 days to try and figure out, you know, why he would do this and who this guy is, because he doesn't even know him. The technician in the lab with him, there's only one guy in the lab who sees this, so he says to him, I tell you what, you've been really nice to me, you're a good guy, I'm going to give you 2 minutes before I hit the alarm. So Tom Cruise takes off, he walks through the office, and he gets in the elevator, and he's about to leave when Colin Ferrel gets in the elevator with him. Now it turns out Colin Ferrel's actually been to Tom Cruise's apartment, because he's just investigating everyone, and he finds out that Tom Cruise is a drug addict. Tom Cruise uses an inhalant, a little device basically to inhale a narcotic of some kind, which he buys on the street, and he shows it to him. But before that happens, Tom Cruise thinks that he's, you know, about to stop him because he knows that he's a potential murderer, so he pulls out his gun on him. And he shows him the little device and he says, guess what, Tom Cruise, possession of this gets you 6 months and will cost you your badge, which means you're not going to be heading up pre-crime anymore. Now, I don't hear the alarms going off, so obviously there's not going to be a murder, so you can put the gun away. And then, ring, 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 the alarms go off. It's great.
Hold that, please. Thanks. You're in a lot of trouble, John. You set me up. I'll write the paranoia off with you. Don't be on lightning. Easy. Easy. It seems I found a flaw. What are you gonna do? Possession alone cost you 6 months. Not to mention your badge. I guess we won't be working together after all. Now put the gun down, John. I don't hear a red ball.
just love that expression on Colin Ferrell's face. Everybody died laughing when they saw that, because he's like, you know, oh no, I'm safe, because the alarms aren't going off. It's like, love that. Now, this isn't a perfect movie. I like the movie generally, but as it turns out, there's this conspiracy involving a guy who set up Tom Cruise to take the fall for this murder right here. And the way that he did it was basically to convince a guy to try and kill a woman, but then he gets caught by the pre-crime cops, and then the guy who set him up kills the woman for real. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, wait a second. The way the system works is the perpetrator's name comes up as well as the victim, and so if this guy, the conspirator, was planning to kill the woman all along after the guy had been caught, then his name would show up. It doesn't make any sense. The guy's name would show up and he'd be arrested. I don't see how that could work. That's kind of a big flaw in the whole mystery. Other than that, though, it's great. It's a fun movie that's very, very stylish. It looks cool. There's a great scene involving Tom Cruise fighting off a bunch of pre-crime cops who have rocket packs. And there's the whole maglev system where the cars run around on magnetized rails. That's a pretty cool scene. There was one other, oh darn it, oh yeah, right, I wanted to mention at the same time that Cruise was making this, or actually like right before he made the film, he also shot Vanilla Sky for Cameron Crowe. And the directors actually make cameos in each other's movies. Steven Spielberg makes a brief appearance in Vanilla Sky. And Cameron Crowe is in Minority Report. He plays the guy with a newspaper on the train who sees Tom Cruise's face come up, and he's wanted for murder as Tom Cruise is sitting right across from him. So that's Cameron Crowe. And actually Cameron Diaz is in that scene as well. I was looking for her because I'd read about it, and I'm like, oh, there she is. She's sitting behind Cameron Crowe. The seat is actually blocking the lower half of her face, but you can see her eyes. I'm like, there's Cameron Diaz. So yeah, fun movie. Got a couple problems, but overall it's a fun science fiction movie. So yeah, that's my video for this week. We've got a new theme starting tomorrow, Friday, so please tune in for that. Thanks very much for watching. See you again real soon. Bye.